Anti-MLM has been known to make hateful contents in pretense that they are helping people. They claim to be saving people. They claim to be the messiah of the internet online space. They portray themselves as social knights, the white knights, pretending to be protecting people from scams that they have made it up themselves. Why? It is to earn YouTube money, donation money, affiliate marketing money. They do not care that they spread lies and falsehood in order to earn those money. They will do it. Today, we will be talking about personal stories, horror stories, and explaining why I have decided to take my YouTube channel in that direction whereby I expose all the lies, all the manipulations, all the downright bullying that will market us into submission. There are many cases and horror stories about these ugly anti-MLM constant harassments, posting inflammatory or off-topic comments to provoke an emotional response. There are also doxing, there are also cyber stalking, which is so persistent. It's obsessive monitoring of someone's online activities, constantly trying to private message everyone in his or her friends list and doing everything in their power to ruin somebody else's relationship, friendships, families, because fuck it, am I right? Because that's what any heroes would do. That's what any social knights would do. That's what any justice warrior would do. That is what any white knights, we are saving lives, right? We are saving lives. And it all begins with tearing down families, destroying friendships, hurting relationships and marriages. And if you're anti-MLM, you might be surprised that I say what I say. You strongly believe with 100% certainty that, and with absolute zero molecule of doubt, that what you are emotionally, physically, financially supporting is an amazing movement that is supposed to stop the scams and the scammers only. Well, guess what? Not only were you misled into destroying entrepreneurs, destroying the 1099 independent contractors, destroying businesses that the founders have spent blood, sweat, blood, and huge investments, you are also destroying friendships, relationships. Were you thinking that the CEOs that create the scams like these, they invest so much in their land deeds, building headquarters, infrastructures, renting and building warehouses, setting up delivery system, logistics, creating millions and millions of subdomain websites for distributors, logistics, etc. You think this kind of scam is a walk in the park? They cost billions and billions of dollars upfront. These costs, these expenses are only for the CEO, the founder to take on, not you. It's like they do the heavy lifting for you. They are the ones who are bending over backwards so that people like you can enjoy the privilege of building passive and residual income out of it. All that for you to spit them right back in the face and fuck them over. But never mind about that. Let's get over to the main topic of the video. I will only review one of the cases for this video because I relate so much with this and I want to give commentary on it. Now, please bear in mind that I have a lot of horror stories of how anti-MLM tries to screw over a lot of people. Me only covering this one topic for this whole video is not an indication that these type of stories, cases are extreme rare occurrence and happens only once every millennium or so, and that the anti-MLM is all about love and compassion. No. It is as ugly as they come, and once they get fired up, and they get fired up all the time, a lot, okay, they will regularly attack the reps and carry out all kinds of harassments and bullying across all social medias from many different directions, until even if the reps loses all sense of self-respect and confidence, they will still continue in their psychological harassments. Now, the first horror story is from a comment section under one of the network marketing coaches, one of his or her video, okay. Now this story is very shocking. It's trigger warning, okay? I do not know why I need to let you know about trigger warning, but you ought to know that life is not a bed of roses, but here we are, okay? I hide the names of the participants, the name of victims for the safety of the comment poster. So the comment is as follows. So I quote, question, I have a huge problem with a sister who seemed hell-bent on sabotaging my business and has for a few years. Backstory, I was living with her and her family for 6 years. After escaping an abusive marriage, I finally moved out due to her hateful and toxic attitude and actions, especially towards me. I stopped speaking to her because I find my energy just being sapped to the point of exhaustion and stress from her toxic attitude. She began stalking me on Facebook, personal page and business page, Twitter and Instagram repeatedly, plus began having her friends do the same and email pretending to be interested in the business or products. It's gotten to the point where I've become suspicious of everyone who contacts me for the business or products, that they are her friends just trying to get me to reply. I reply to every inquiry for business and product info, but in many cases they say they were just making contact because she asked them to. I blocked them on social media after asking them once to please do not do this, as I am trying to build a business. The next time they will be blocked. I keep blocking my sister. She has numerous Facebook accounts, 6 that I know of, 6! And I'm sure she has a few fake accounts as well. She keeps commenting publicly about from different accounts, even her friends' accounts, that she is trying to contact me, making herself sound like a customer who I'm ignoring. That's the perceptions others are getting. It's chasing people away from interacting and doing business with me. And I feel helpless to stop it. She knows I don't want to talk to her, but she still won't stop. She stopped me using the police as well. Bro, calling them to report a missing person and repeated wellness checks. The police are getting annoyed with her 3 times within a few months' time. They've told her that I don't want to talk to her, but she continues. Add in her posting false stories about me on social media with claims that I was missing, was disappeared, etc. How in the world do I deal with such a person like this? While trying to run a business online, I'm relaunching my business after 2.5-year hiatus due to first, all my tech devices died on me all at once, laptop, phone, and tablet, then getting really sick with COVID, and then long COVID, still having muscle weakness and severe fatigue, which isn't responding to PT. Plus reoccurring problems with circulation in my lower legs due to infections in them from COVID. The past few months have been dealing with 3 email addresses, my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook accounts being hacked, and login info getting charged on each, so I didn't have access to any of my personal or business accounts. It's been a nightmare, but coming back little by little, got my Facebook and emails back, still going back and forth with Twitter and Instagram to get those back. These past few years has been rough, but I'm getting there. I'm not going to explain to you the level of doxing, the level of harassments, the amount of fair game harassments, the impersonation, the level of deceit, and many more, okay? If you have a brain and you are a big fan of logical and critical thinking, you would know who is in the wrong, okay? I'm also not going to go over the comment underneath the comment, right? The sub-comments. I'm not going to mention that, okay? It is the level of tone deaf that the anti-MLM fans, the supporters are. It's absolutely tone deaf, I'm telling you. And personally, going back to the topic at hand, personally I have had similar encounter, but not as extreme as this. Not as extreme as the person who is being doxxed, who is being have the police call upon her, okay? Not extreme as that. I say similar. I did not have an extreme case like her, but it was still alarming for me since it was one of the rare few times that I have experienced it, especially coming from one of my close friends. I will name him Tom, okay? I can't be giving real names now. Tom has been a friend of mine, one of the close friends. And one day during lunchtime, this is the story time, okay? One day during lunchtime, he sat me down on a food hall, okay? One of the canteen. He's talking about other stuff, and I was enjoying my drink, just listening in, when suddenly he turned to face towards me and asked me, "So Patrick, how's your MLM? Tell me, how's your MLM?" And he keep repeating the same question over and over again. Mind you, I'm the kind of person who will never talk about business to any of my friends, any of my families, any of my relatives, okay? Especially never to the person named Tom, who is my friend. I never even talked to him about it. I never hurt him in any way, shapes or forms. I never make fun of him. I never talk down to him, okay? But he is talking down to me with a condescending attitude, and he keeps repeating the questions over and over again in front of all my other friends, okay, in the group. And when I try to talk about other stuff like MCU, you know, I'm a big fan of MCU, Marvel Comic Universe, Avengers, yeah, I'm a big fan of that. I want to talk about it. And if they, I want to talk about whether they have seen the movies, they enjoy it or not, what do they think about it. But whenever I open my mouth, he will interject, cut me off, and repeat the question in an even louder voice in order to drown out my voice and drown out whatever I have to say, like, how's your MLM? And it went on for a full 30 seconds to a minute. To some point, at some point, I'm just too stunned to speak. And I just look at him in disgust until he calmed down and he said, so? I paused for a while because I thought he's going to interject again. I just asked him, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he just pulled out his phone, went over to my social media, and showed everyone what I have been posting with a gleeful smile on his face. And I denied everything. Any questions and interrogation, I denied everything again and again and again. And that should be the end of it, right? Boy, was I wrong. During dinner time, as I took the plates from the counter, the meal, and I was about to sit down with the same group of friends, this Tom looked at me dead in the eye as he said out the following words: 看他的头发，头发没有了 poverty stress. I am Myanmar, okay? And he assumed I do not know Chinese languages that he just spoke. And he was mentioning my hair and how it was dropping, and that is because I am suffering from poverty stress. These are the friends that I forgot my own money to buy drinks from them in the morning. What the actual fuck? Long story short, ever since that day, I do everything in my power to stay away from them as much as I can. So basically, that is my horror story. The anti-MLM, they will say many things about MLM horror stories, but this is my anti-MLM horror stories. Friends who I have not hurt in any ways, shapes or forms, trying to screw me over, and that is how friendship is ruined. I have worked so damn hard to keep friendships, relationships, relatives and families together. They are my life. At this point in my life, it is always the anti-MLM, the anti-MLM ideologies that constantly seek to destroy relationships, friendships, tear apart families, which is why I feel so strongly against anti-MLM. They are like a plague that feeds off the minds of people and induce many hateful thoughts and extremist thinking. I have never met one anti-MLM people who are all about love and compassion. There are 3 types of anti-MLM people, as far as my experience served me. There may be more than 3, I don't know, but for me, I see only 3, okay? One is virtue signaling anti-MLM. These are the ones that people will use morality to talk you out of network marketing. They will say stuff like, do you know in network marketing, MLM, it is a pyramid scheme? Do you know that you have to constantly beg your friends and families to join? Don't you know that it is a scam? There's no pride. Are you sure you want to do this for the rest of your life? Is this what your mother would have wanted? Is this what your parents fought so hard for you to spit them in the face and then get involved in shitty things like this? Virtue signaling. Virtue signaling. It's very disgusting how far they will go, the choices of words that they would use so that you would do the same job, enroll in the same job as them, you would do the same activity as them, that you would breathe the same air as them. Back when I was in secondary school, there were all types of virtual signaling. I was told I should not buy a guitar with the money that I have saved up, because if I am learning guitar with the intent of using it to impress girls, okay, it's not worth it, and that I should not even get started on it in the very first place. Why do they say that? Why should that be the reason why I should not even pick up guitar skills? Why? Even if the reason for picking up guitar skills is weird, what's wrong with that? I mean, what's wrong with picking up the skills nonetheless? Another great one I've heard is, I was chasing this girl, right? And my best friend, my closest best friend, told me, you are not in love. You miss the feeling of being in love. Let me repeat this again. You are not in love. You miss the feeling of being in love. When you hear this, what comes to your mind? You will think that I have not seen her for a very long time, right? You will assume that I have not talked to her for a very long time, am I right? Well, what if I were to tell you I had a major crush on one of my classmates, and my best friend, my former best friend, told me this phrase 6 months before graduation. That means I'm still stuck 6 months of seeing her face to face, 5 days a week, 4 times a month for the next 6 months. How in the world am I going to miss anything? It's all nonsense. Let me tell you, your close friends, most likely, many of them are very afraid of you doing something different from them. But they will never ever tell you that directly to your face. But instead, they will use unorthodox means like virtue signaling in order to pry you away from doing something different from them. If they are single, they want you to be single as well, which explains why they tell you all kinds of rules like in love, you're supposed to be like this, you're supposed to do this. Not like what you are doing now. They want you to not pursue guitar skills because they are afraid you become too charismatic and their crush will swoon all over you. Not just your crush, their crush too. Oh no, they don't want that. They must encourage you from learning guitar somehow. Oh, I know, I'll use virtue signaling. Or, I don't want you to pursue your dream by working this, what is this, network marketing while I am stuck in a job. Oh, I get it. I'll just tell you it's a scam. I'll use morality against you. I'll use your parents against you. I'll use your feelings against you. I'll show you a lot of videos for you so that you will give up on your dreams and go back to a job like me. Virtue signaling. Another one is faking empathy, showing fake care, fake love, fake concerns. That's what anti-MLM do. We are all about saving people, right? We are all about saving people. Virtue signaling and love, care, concern goes hand in hand. Instead of using feelings and morality against you, they tell you like, I am doing this, I am telling you this for your own good, because I care about you. No one else will tell you about it, but I care about you. That's why I'm telling you this, and so on and so forth. And the last one is plain simple. It's just like my friend Tom. They will shame you and embarrass you in front of other people, especially in front of your friends. If friends are not around, they will shame you and embarrass you in public where there are people around. They will make fun of you, they will harass you, they will belittle you, condescending remarks, guilt trip you. In worst case scenario, they will outright humiliate you and bully you into submission. Unfortunately, I'm not that guy. If you're the type of person who feels that fear, you're feeling the fear of your friends doing something different from you, and you do everything you can to coerce your friends out of it in any ways, shapes or forms, especially using unorthodox methods, you are not a friend. You should be ashamed of yourself for calling yourself a friend.